Hello, hello. It is actually, I'm recording for day 152 and day 153 of my 365-day raw suspending disbelief journey um, for September 21st and 22nd, 2024. This is weekend days and days that I had the kids with me. So um, we didn't have a ton on the books this weekend, nothing like major going on, but we spent our one day just sort of not needing to do anything specific, being relaxed, just, um, it wasn't very warm out, things like that. So we just mostly stayed home. My oldest had a sleepover. The younger two were a little bit extra miserable, and, we just tried to get as much sleep as we could this weekend. We cleaned the house, um, things like that. And I do feel like that first day of fall vibe this weekend, it was very much like, okay, this is what's happening. It's the first day of fall. It's time to start releasing. And I did a ton of decluttering as we cleaned up the house. We spent a good chunk of one of the weekend days just cleaning and organizing and decluttering and all of that. And I just said, like, we're resetting the house, and until it's reset, nobody has freedom. And I I was just like, no, we're doing this together. We're all going to work together. And that's such a great, I know I've mentioned it before in the podcast, just having like a day where we all sort of chip in together. And usually that's only for like an hour or two. We do some of the basic stuff, whatever, but we really deep cleaned this time and decluttered a lot, and reorganized some things in ways that would work better for us, and all of that. And just doing that it was a very stereotypical autumn day. It was cool. But it was still sunny. It was, that fresh, cool air, so we could open windows and just really clear out the energy in the house. It felt amazing. So, again, I did like zero work for just about 2 days, and it feels really good. It feels, there was nothing that was a panic or urgent to get done. I did do a little bit, while the kids were like, when they had their free time and they wanted to be playing video games or, whatever. I was like, okay, I'm going to sit and do a little bit, and um, got some clarity on how I want to be doing things, and how I want to be running my programs and all of that. And that's fantastic. I've been digging more into the Big Leap book. I'm getting close to the end of it now. And um, there's a lot of clarity to be gained in that book. I will recommend it again and again and again. There's just really so much as far as knowing what your genius zone is, right? What it is that you should be focused on, and where you should be expending your energy. And pardon me. And that is such a powerful thing to have clarity on, because the more you work in your genius zone, the less effort it is, the smoother things go. And I do feel like I've been more in that state in the last while, and that is also contributing to that feeling of um, balance that has been here. So I have balance on a day when I don't really work. I have balance on a day when all I do is clean my house. I have balance on days when all I do is work and I don't do any cleaning and don't do any, um, you know, not, I never really don't do any being present with my kids. That always happens. But where my focus is just entirely on work for most of a day type of thing. And it's it just feels really good to have this sort of overview and knowing that I'm doing things through this lens of the zone of genius. And um it's definitely, this book is moving its way up my list of like top books that I would recommend as far as personal development go. Um and I feel like it's really interesting to have the awareness of it as it's happening. But I feel like it is, um, it's almost a shift into knowing that a big change is coming. I don't know how to explain it properly, but when I read, for example, Mel Robbins, The 5 Second Rule, that has always been like my top book that I recommend, that I am like, it changed my life. It is absolutely a total game changer, all of that. And I still say that to this day. But I never knew when I was reading that book that it was going to change the trajectory of my life, that it was that big of a deal for me. Um, but this time I'm reading this book and knowing that as it's happening. And maybe that's because I have experienced that before. And so I know that, I'm noticing the signs of it. But I don't know. I just know that the absolute brain explosions and clarity that have come from this book are life-changing stuff. They're not small. They are a big deal. And yeah, so I got up earlier the one day and I spent a chunk of time just doing that, going through that, and um answering the guidance questions that he has in the book for people to get that clarity. And just every step of the way kind of being like, oh, right. It's just yeah. I'm really loving the book. Highly recommend. um so yeah, I don't know. I think everything, weekends are always, I am a lot of the time I'm combining them now, for this reason, because it's just sort of like they're just one thing and there's not a ton to talk about, but um they are still part of that balance that I'm maintaining now. So I just love it. And I feel so confident that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And um, that is, that's an amazing feeling. And I just want to share more of it. I hope that me talking about it is helping you to also achieve it. So, that is what I have for you guys today. And I will talk to you all tomorrow.